Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another vlog. I wanted to chat a little bit about my morning routine and what I do, at least in this moment, just to share with you what it's like to have a holistic start to your day. So as some of you know, I currently live with my parents and we actually have a few guests over and there's like some home renovations going on. And so there's a bunch of noise and stuff going on. This is just a disclaimer for the background. Another reason why I wanted to mention that is because I know that a lot of you don't currently live in a living situation that you are really happy about. You know, like there are some parts of your day that are just out of your control. And so to me, that's why having a morning routine has always been so helpful. I've had a morning routine set for myself probably since high school, before I even knew about morning routine and the whole wellness culture on social media. I've been doing things in the morning for myself because I realized that after the morning, I have to attend to everybody else, things that I don't really care to do or things that I don't really love to do or things that I simply like to do, but I just have to do it. I have to do all of that after my morning. And so when am I going to have my own time to reflect? When am I going to have time to be with myself? Oh, in the very morning at the beginning of my day. That's when I can really guarantee that things are actually going to happen for me and that I can actually take care of my body, mind, and soul. And so I like to think about this in a more holistic point of view. I know that there are a lot of different interpretations of holistic. So for me, when I say my holistic morning routine, I'm thinking about a morning routine that incorporates me as a whole person, body, mind, and soul. So what that looks like is I wake up, and right when I wake up, I actually take my temperature with this little thing called the Daisy. It's my version of birth control. It just tracks my basal body temperature in the morning every day. As a human who menstruates, my temperature will fluctuate at the beginning of the day throughout the entire month. And what that tells me is when I'm most likely to be ovulating, when I'm most likely to be having my period, and having that consistency is really important for the data. So when I first start off my day, I check my temperature. I'm half asleep usually, and this has just become a habit for me. And then I go straight into my office and I set up my meditation space. I go into meditation. Sometimes I do breath work, sometimes I do mindful silent meditation, and sometimes I use an app. The app that I've been using most recently is called Open to guide me through meditation. I personally like to have a lot of variety. So for those of you who think that you need to have the same activities every single morning for a morning routine and you're wondering why you haven't been able to stick to it, there's a big chance that it's because you're forcing yourself to do things that you simply don't feel like doing or you don't feel good about doing later on. So to me, I like to have a mindfulness portion, which is my meditation or breath work or guided meditation, a place where I can be silent and really connect with my true essence. Outside of my physical body, outside of this physical room, outside of the social construct that I'm in, I love to have a place and a time to be able to connect with my true essence, to remind me of who I am so that I can bring that forth throughout the rest of the day. And then I go into some sort of reflection. So I'll either journal, which is the easiest thing for me. So this morning I did journal, or I might go into maybe speaking. So I'll make some voice notes just on my thoughts or what's going on. Other times it's stretching, but I love to have that mindfulness portion and then my reflection portion. And then after that, I go into the bathroom, I brush my teeth, and every single morning, I tongue scrape. Also at night, I tongue scrape as well. Tongue scraping is an Ayurvedic practice that basically eliminates that whole film of stuff on the top of your tongue every day. I guarantee you, if you go look in a mirror right now, or if you just take your phone out and you look at your tongue, there's like a layer of stuff. That is just the buildup of food that's kind of been left in your mouth or things that have been built up, in this case, overnight. And so tongue scraping to me helps me just feel so fresh and so clean. I literally do not feel clean in my mouth until I tongue scrape. And so it's always a necessity for me, and it guarantees that I have fresh breath in the morning. And then for my facial routine or my skincare routine, I don't even wash my face in the morning. I just give my face a nice rinse. I kind of rinse off any extra moisturizer from the night before, and I'll dab my face dry, and then I put on a moisturizer plus SPF. The one that I'm using lately is a CeraVe moisturizer, and that's because I have very sensitive, very dry skin, and whenever I come into patches or times when I have really sensitive skin or eczema flare-ups, CeraVe is the brand to me that really helps my skin most effectively. I would love to be that super holistic girly who only uses coconut oil or jojoba or almond oil on my face, but I am a tropical baddie, and I and living in a very dry, hot climate that is not really meant for my DNA. And so I need to use modern things in order for me to really adapt to where I am in the world. Otherwise, if I were just in the Philippines where my ancestors were, I think my skin would be totally fine with a little bit of, natural oils, but that is not the case for me here. This whole time, I have not been on my phone other than to just open up my meditation app if I'm using it. After that, I go into the kitchen and I have warm water. The way I do this is I just heat up some water in a kettle and I fill up my cup to mostly regular temp water, and then I just fill up with hot water until I get to the temperature that I like. And so the reason why I do warm water in the morning and not cold water is because warm water is more easily digested by the body as soon as possible. I mean, if you think about it, our organs are warm. Your stomach is warm, your intestines are already warm. So it just makes sense for you to be bringing in something that's the same temperature. You can bring cold water in, but what that does is it forces your body to use more energy to heat up that water so that it can be digested and assimilated into your body faster. What if you just skipped the cold step and you just brought in warm room temp? Even hot water is amazing in the body. Although it is summertime, I don't really want to do hot water because it gets too hot. So what I do is warmer than room temperature, and that really helps me get rehydrated really quickly. It allows my body to not be in so much shock in the morning. If I'm feeling really fancy, I'll use a lemon. I didn't feel fancy this morning. What it also grants me is not only hydration, but also it kind of kickstarts my digestion. I don't know if there are any girlies out there who also have some digestive issues, but warm water in the morning first thing has really cleared that up for me. It gets my bowels going, it gets me going and activated, and so I'll drink my warm water, I'll let my body soak in it, and then I'll probably have to use the restroom in a few minutes. All the while I'm doing that, I'm also doing something that enriches my spirit. That to me means some kind of self-development book, some kind of book that feels good to read but isn't so hard for me that I need to figure out the laws or the puzzles of the universe. It's not so much learning content, but more so enriching for my soul, for my heart, for my mind, so that I can feel good going into the day, so I can already be uplifted. The point of this whole morning routine is so that I can just start my day on a high rather than start my day trying to crawl out of a hole of a bunch of draining activities. Draining activities to me looks like going on social media right away, seeing a bunch of things that would maybe make me feel a little insecure, or diving straight into work without attending to myself first. Those kind of feel a little draining to me. Being able to fill up my mind with inspirational words from an inspirational book. Sometimes I even go on YouTube and I'll watch an Abraham Hicks video, or I'll watch some kind of affirmation thing. That really helps me as well. But honestly, just filling up these morning minutes with as much positive, helpful, loving energy as possible so I can bring it into my day. Of course, if my day turns sour, that's just the way that the day goes and I have the power to turn it around. But at least I give myself a space of positivity to start from. After that, I kind of go into the rest of my day. I make my coffee. I've been adding this mushroom blend into my coffee from Apothecary. It includes chaga, lion's mane, and reishi mushroom. It's just a fancy fun thing, you don't really need to do anything special with that. Then I go into getting ready for my day for my clients. So I go ahead and I put on some makeup, I get ready. It helps me also feel confident. So I put on baddie music, I put the makeup on, I just feel good. I have fun with my physical form, and then dive into my morning. So this morning I had a client, and she's currently working with me, not necessarily on finding her purpose, but mostly in living it and figuring out the next best steps for her to take and getting some guidance from outside help. I am a purpose and transformation coach, and I do help women drop limiting beliefs, let go narratives that no longer serve them, and step into their power and step into their purpose, but first find their purpose. But I also help people who already have an idea of what their purpose is, but maybe they just don't know how to get there, or they've been experiencing a lot of blocks on their purpose. So that's what me and this wonderful human have been working on these past few weeks, and we still have a few more weeks to go. If you're interested in coaching, or if you're interested in what it would look like to work with me one-on-one, make sure you check out my website. All the links are in the description of this video. After that, I went downstairs, I made myself a smoothie. It was a protein smoothie, so there's at least 25 grams of protein in there, if not more, from the other smaller things I added. But there's always a scoop of veg protein. I use the chocolate peanut butter cup flavor, some creatine, blueberries, bananas, and some cacao nibs. Blend that all up, and I was hanging out with my mom as well. We were just chatting as I was making my smoothie. And then I drank it while I was doing some work, posting on my Instagram. That is my holistic morning routine, and I know it's not full of herbs and special oils and a 3-hour meditation session, but to me it's holistic. It involves my mind, body, and soul. It helps me feel like I'm attending to all of those parts of myself before I go out into the world and attend to other people. And it also helps me just feel like I have this base of calm and love and compassion that I can start with to give other people throughout the day. And it also guarantees that I do the habits that I know are good for me. Meditation, journaling, yoga sometimes, some movement, hydrating, reading books. Like, these are all things that I always know are good for me. And so the best place to put them into my day to guarantee that I do it is in the morning. So I hope this was really helpful for you. If you have your own morning routine, I'd love to hear what it is in the comments below. I love seeing what other people's morning routines are. And just one last thing on morning routines. Don't worry if you intend to start a morning routine and you don't end up doing all 10 tasks, or maybe you have a solid morning routine and then you go on vacation and you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, I am having so much trouble picking back up. It's totally normal. We are meant to do different things in different phases of our lives. So while meditation and breathwork and journaling may feel really good to me right now in the beginning of my day, it might end up being something that I find really helpful for me at the end of my day, and maybe other activities in the beginning. I love routines. I love morning routines. I don't love permanence. Permanence is impossible for humans anyway. Even all the technology, all the buildings in the world, literally nothing is permanent, so why try to make things permanent? It's really great to have structure, to have routine, but to also allow yourself to be flexible with what you do in your day. So again, I hope this was really helpful for you. I really love walking you through my morning routine. I'm excited to see what you guys also do.